Yo, welcome to the Life Podcast. I'm your host, Triple D. And I know you're wondering, I've never seen this podcast a day of my life. But let me tell you, this is the absolutely number one first podcast that I'm going to be giving out of, and I'm going to begin doing them often. So a little bit about myself. First of all, the podcast is called Life. The reason I call the podcast Life is because it gives us the opportunity to talk about everything. Me, a man of many different hats. You know, I'm a father, I love to ride my motorcycle, I work, photographer, and I'm very stubborn. And there's so many things in life that I've been through that I know I can help you out with. So I'm gonna use different episodes to talk about different things on this podcast. It should be interesting, it should be fun, we should laugh together, we should cry together. I'm gonna have guests, I'm gonna do some shows for myself. But it's going to be an exciting podcast, so ensure that you tune in, subscribe, wherever platform you're on, take a look at it because it should be fun. So I'm going to jump right into our first topic today. So for anyone that don't know me, the one thing about me, I'm very spontaneous. I have notes, but I really don't follow notes. And I just like to have fun, all right? So earlier today, I did something that was really funny. I went on my IG. And I saw a post that Ricky Smiley posted. So I went on ahead and I made the same post on my Facebook because I didn't want to go and post it on IG and someone's like, oh, Triple D is biting off for someone else. I don't mind giving other people the credit, but some things I think are funny and I love to see what the responses is going to be from my friends and my family. So the question was, and this is going to lead into something else, get pregnant by your baby daddy again or walk to New York? I'm gonna repeat that. Get pregnant by your baby daddy again or walk to New York. This question was directed to the moms out there to see how they responded. And I was really surprised because, man, fellas, we must be doing something really bad for some of the responses because these are some crazy responses. Now, just to let you all know, when I take a look at Ricky Smiley's, his response, the responses to his, he had about a couple 100,000 responses. Myself, I received like 44 responses, and I can tell you I only have one response that was positive. I received responses like they'd much rather walk to Africa, walking for 200 islands. Do y'all remember the guy David Cruz that walked from New York to Florida? A lot of women were saying, let me find David Cruz and find the best route. Or let me find the shoes that David Cruz used to make that journey. So fellas, we got to do a lot better because these ladies, they're really hating us. And if you could just see some of the responses that they put on my Facebook, it was hilarious. Someone said, I'll be a Caribbean vibes on the corner of Nordstrom and Church, assuming that they'd much rather be in New York, walk to New York, than have another baby with their baby daddy. Another one is, one of the best ones I saw was, well, we sleep right next to each other after 32 years, but I am curious to know if he's considered my baby daddy since he's my husband first. And that was a positive, but everyone else, people running, had emojis of women running. I would crawl barefooted. I would crawl on my bare hands and my MF knees before I even let that thought cross my mind. Oh my gosh, that's funny. So what this takes me into is one of the more serious topics, ladies, that I always have for women. And like I'm a man, so please ignore my ignorance, but this is just something that I always question. I've heard that women know exactly what they want. They know how they want to be loved. They know what they want from a man. But most women would overlook a man that will, capital will, that will deliver that type of love for a man that they hope, H-O-P-E, will deliver that type of love. So, looking at those two posts, the answers to the question about your baby daddy, because I know some of you all go out and have fun because us men, we do it. So some of you, when we go out and have fun, but what I always hear about women is that you all you're very emotional. So you just don't lay down with any man. There's a few exceptions, and I know there's a few exceptions because I know people personally that say, "Hey, bump men, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna get my body count, blase blase." But for the most part, most women, they're emotionally attached. So my question is, looking at the post and the question I just said, is it really true that you overlook the men that you know can love you how you want to be loved for the guys that you hope can love you how you want to be loved? I would love for the women to chime in and give me some answers below whatever platform you on to that, because that's something that I always think about. See, us as men, I know we go through stages of life. You know, if we go from our teenage years, or some of you women may say laughing, from 18 to 40, we go from our teenage years, then we mature a little bit, and then something clicks in our head that makes us want to become family men. A lot of women like to say, usually once we slow down and we realize we can't handle multiple women, but that's not always true. I know there's outliers, there's men out there that do it into their 50s, 60s, 70s. My dad was one that just don't settle down. But men, when we were younger, we just like to have fun. Like, I always tell my daughters that when you meet these guys, these young men, don't take them serious, because they're not taking you serious. They're just trying to get your dipstick wet, as my dad said. They're just trying to get some. They're just trying to get some. They're trying to see, they're trying to explore how many they can get. And then when you're younger as a man, it's like, she's fine, she got booty, she got whatever you like. I want to hit that. And that's what it really is. Then as you get older, you may start experiencing the relationships. But when you begin experiencing relationships, and not like between 18 and like 28, 29, we're not really serious, because we may settle down. Like, we may look at you and say, "Oh, she's fine," but once we hit it in for a little bit, it's like, okay, let's find something better. And it's that constant search for better. But as you get older and mature, you realize that regardless, there always is going to be somebody out there, if you allow yourself to be tempted, that's going to tempt you. So you begin falling for that woman for who she is, all her faults, all her greatness, everything. And those are the steps that men go through. I'm just curious about women. Like, at what point do you all begin asking yourself, or begin thinking, I'm looking for longevity. I'm looking for someone that can be a life partner. I'm looking for someone that can build me forever, versus, okay, this guy looks good. He looks like $1 million. So I'm going to go with this guy. Okay, he looks like $1 million. He's popular. He's like what every woman wants, versus I'm going to go with this guy because he's got his stuff together. He may not be as cool, as popular, but I'm going to go with him. Those are questions they always go through my head, and I wish I had a woman on here that can speak into that. But that's something that I always think about. That's something I would love to have more insight about from a woman, because I have daughters, and like I always say, I've never been a woman, so I don't know how to explain things to a girl from a woman's perspective. I can only do it from a guy's perspective. And most of the time, my daughters look at me and say, "Dad, you're so negative." So like I say, most of my content here is going to be real life stuff, things that I'm passionate about. Today's about women. It's in no way, no shape or form to down a woman. It's just questions that I have that have helped me be a better father, help me be a better man. And it also will allow other men to read the comments and understand how you all think. We can do another day where we can talk about men, because there's things about men that I can definitely talk about. I can talk about in depth because I am a man, and I think I've went through all those stages when it comes to women. I've never been to a stage where I never liked women. Even when I was a little boy, I loved women. So we could talk about that. But like I say, this is in no way, shape, or form to down any woman. It's just more for educational purposes, so everyone can get information on how you all think. With that being said, I just want to let everyone know that these podcasts is going to last anywhere between 5 and 30 minutes. I'm not going to try to make them too long. I want them to be interesting. I want it to be right to the point, and we can just jump in, jump out, give you perfect opportunity to ask questions, even to ask for an invite so you can join and we can talk about different things. But I appreciate you tuning in today. I hope you like the background music. Like I said, this is my first podcast, first of many. I'm going to try to do at least once a week, one per week or two per week, depending on how I'm feeling. But thank you again on Triple D, and this is a Life Podcast.